Mene fakasia ena ebraso samede bro midia ene oheneba nyako. Kase mo ensamdia ewomu bi ene say. Speaker of Parliament Ononyanfo Aban Bagben wadi afutu akọ ede ama eye emrahwebedwafo ese wonum enhwe se next by election na se abato ebesan akoto by election achese wo keka kwakotia no enkonkwa ye pinche mentime ho ase nemom de ebefiri wonum aba ne be ya asomdwe esan se ene emrahwebedwafo na se wonum kasa ne ya hantan ya ntiatiamu enonko a ntia yafutu a wode ekọ edema wonum wakase ye monsonso ena ononyanfo amakofibo a wono eye Minister for Lands and Natural Resources wode ensema tudwa hse Blue Water Guards ya de wono ekwa akobo yensu ho by the free galamsey no nyame admo fiada nipa ahenum ene aduasan sonso ye bepa wonom ho entoma Ononyanfo Felix Kwachofo su kire se National Cathedral amna eda ho no mo manfo se omampani Mahama so de Babisi Cultural Center no osenye no kure enye sa na asem ne etie na eno sonso wa kirem wo sa kase yi emu Empanifo a wonum ewo asanwase mekire kusasi abusuafo omanfo wonum ete wonum esra bambofo posifo se wonum emma eniama enye ntentem so a no manhwemu frenchman nadi na nyesa se de mabunu no ehuru no wanhwa na yante asempa Sof mame Priscilla Yirebi ade ato emmebu afei na wonum tutu na mo akwa ware mu se woni bema na so yoba woni bema na bema woni oba mo fa yonko a adwempo etachire se mo de kwa ware mu a kai so ye Kristoni masa yonko fa na enyina Kristo eso ensempi ka ho na matana se na nwumre ade ebro se nonum ene fa kase Enasie enkoma eye kwabena usuaduomi wono ebo machidom di free newsroom sanso ena mame adwoa ahenkra won ebo machidom di free newsroom oko Facebook edemo live Pent Radio 100.1 FM say okay wodi dwuma ne kama ewo technical room hono ede amaye wono ena streaming nyina ede amayen make house ohenere spices na fen so ohenere non dairy powdered milk ena fakase hu ka ena ba bibia wono wote yenka mesefro abusuafo wono emmay eya santimantemu na wonum eni Ghana say wonum enko eya be fontintan fidie ne so www.streamer.com oduru ho no search Pent Radio na no ano no wiase afana ba bia ne nsa ebeka na se tuning radio so ye wo so ne nsa ebeka yen hare hye me dane me hutia wane age abofo enkrato yere kase ne nchumo ebeto so sisia
Midofo a minu hu agro na say die waduane ne da no ayesronko
anyo mura ohenere spices abefi aduane de ayesronko ohenere chicken seasoning se wo toto wo chi ana wo ye akokọ nam ho bribia fakakra som
froye no
ohenere stew seasoning no be manageta
jollof no
ohenere jollof seasoning ma no hwam ni odew mu odew
fried rice no kra die
ohenere fried rice seasoning Emma me fredwa frede aponchin kakra no me do ohenere go seasoning na ye asam na ne se mira ohenere seasoning powder ya woni beef shrimp noodles any de keke eka ho anunsu ede aduane ne hwam ne de no ubedi adibio enti obapa ohenere spices abama yen aduane no aye de efrise ne die ne nso aye de
ohenere spices edeye
e wo dwa hoduo mu etufon for 020-780-5398 and 0244-525908 FDA agi edwedien kratoi atum.
Have me more kwa bae de bakase no so yemmo enremu ne emfa kase ne nchiremu yemfa entwa so Speaker of Parliament Ononyanfo Aban Sumana Kingsford Bagben wade afutu akodi ama emrahwebedwafo ese wosre wohwe emrahwebedwafo na enye sei ena emrahwebedwa no ehya ase e free Fourth Republic na onim de ababehye wonu mu de na emom akwesi sesei wo mkasa nyina entiatiamu wo mkasa nyina enti yakwa abato a na kwakwa pinche akwa yese kantwe ne ntokwa ho was say wo hwe ni mu pa say by election foforo edi ani mu no enkonkwa ye mojasam koye ababro sekantwe ene pinche was say eye foto ene ode ma wonom esan say sadia wonom mpo wode suban bi adi anaso wode won suban adi wo mrahye bedwa ho no no bibia kire say wonom eni abotre enti wonom enya abotre na de nyame aka no nipa bia entimi ensesa no.
And let's remove totally the issue of violence from our lives, particularly our political lives. Not only in the elections, but also in the House, particularly when you are making submissions. Most of the words you use are not only intemperate, but even the manner in which they are uttered shows violence. And so this House now is full of shouting. That is not how we started the Fourth Republican Parliament. And so I'm just using this opportunity to touch your hearts, to let's tone down and continue to work together. What God has decreed, nobody can do anything about it. So please, I hope in the next by-election, we'll have a more peaceful election than we had in Ablikuma North.
Anunti me hwe ni mu se by election for Friday beto no ebeya dwe e dia sene dia yehu ye ewo Ablikuma North abato empesiaso no ononyamfo anase right honorable speaker Aban Kingsforce mana Bagben adeshe ni din madane no na so speaker ni din ya eno no mame mfa ento aso na kase ye mo na osoafo na hwe ebo ade bobre na afesu esase eso ononyamfo amakofibo a wone centralfo edi enhyiamu we government accountability series a ekoso no na wade etudwa no chese ekwan anasa na momba ko aban efaso no watu galamse so sase de obebo yensu a na afensu ekwan ye ho ban ene se nyame admo efiade edi anim ye obetimi apa ye na se emranti a wonum akwaje ntete a wonum ekobo yensu an ho ban no ahanum ene aduasa ye 530 ena nei wonum agentete awi a yede one monson so one makode ne wakade eba be hye wo nsam se one mankonko hye adwuma se na no no wache se aban ne hwe se ento ankosi afia wie ye no na che se nipa be se empemienu de watimi de wo mafantete mu a wonom ekobo yensuwa ehoban.
To address the challenge of water pollution by illegal mining activities, the Blue Water Initiative was launched within the first 120 days in line with the government's manifesto promise. So far, over 450 personnel have been trained and deployed. I'm also happy to announce that the second batch of 530 blue water guards will be graduating just this Friday, 25th of July. The target is to train 2,000 blue water guards personnel by the end of the year. The deployment strategy for the blue water guards is non-confrontational. They act as intelligence officers and also engage with local community to raise awareness about the importance of environmental conservation and the negative impacts of illegal mining. I think already it's very clear that we are seeing the very positive impact of the presence of these blue water guards in our watering areas. The second phase of the Blue Water Initiative will focus on decheemicalizing the water bodies to restore them to their pristine conditions. Feasibility studies are steadily underway.
Na watu so echere se samre no aban ebema nani eku eye enhihye papa a ebeboa eye community anase enkura yetu fam gudi anase yetu sika okọ ewo mu no esene se yebekọ akose agreement o ba bi nani pa na wonom ete eye community ni ba bi yetu agudi no ankasa na wonom ebre wo se wodwani eba bekire mu no wahwe se ade a wofra na eye community development agreement ena eye mining companies wone eye timamofo anase enkuro enketoa enkura yetu agudie woso no wone wonom besan na enkoye agreement fufuro bia.
Some significant changes that we are pursuing is one, to drastically reduce the number of years that prospecting licenses are held for from perpetuity to a defined minimal period, reducing the upper limit for number of years for the grant of a mining lease from 30 years to an agreed period, obviously very reduced years. 3, abolishing development agreements and enforcing the signing of community development agreements, imposing a rate of an agreed percentage of gross revenue from the sale of minerals to fund community development projects to help fast-track the development of mining communities. These transformational changes will see the accelerated development of our mining communities. We are are also introducing a trade-tier mineral rights regime by including a medium-scale mining. As we speak, we have only small-scale and large-scale. We are also working to reduce the upper limit for stability agreements from the current 15 years to allow for capital recovery for huge investments only, or abolishing it altogether. Under the leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, and with extensive stakeholder engagements that include traditional authorities, civil society groups, academia, government is committed to ensure that the review of the Act corrects the imbalances of the past and secure a brighter future for the benefit of all Ghanaians.
Ania woti no eye ononyamfo Emmanuel Amakofibo a wono eye minister in charge of lands and natural resources. Mame fa entwa so e no nyamfo Felix Kwachi ofosu wono ene kasa edema aban we minister of state in charge of government communication. Wachiremu ese wono etete se omanfo binim se omampani Mahama National Cathedral Foundation yetu ya nase yetu hamana na da hono wode ba besi cultural center wose Ghanafo momane nchiremu na monti ase omampani enka bibia sa se wode biaye na ba besi cultural center na mom de etie ene se adwuma ko bi a wonom eye continental body na chese ka continental na chese wonom ko ba bia wonom ewo adan na afin so eye biaye bia wode emema han centers a wode emema han na wonom na ba eye 24-hour economy secretariat ne nan so ese biaye mode man ke betimi asi biaye bi se anase monfa man na ke yemfe ensi biaye bi sei na enya de omampani ono ankasa ene wasi sudua anase obetimi akase omampani aye na adwen se National Cathedral asase da hono obesi AS so anase obesi B e de asi so omampani enka hohwe kosi se obeye ehwehwemu a emudo na afenso ehwehwemu a esefata de hia bia na obeye ansa na nsunsuaso no babetodwa wahu kwanya wode National Cathedral asase no wode ebefa so anase ade a wode ebeye.
That contrary to some reports that emerged last week or the other, that the government has decided to turn the site into a cultural center or some convention center. Nothing of the sort has happened. What happened was that there's a continental body that rents some office space in Accra. They approached the 24-hour economy secretariat and proposed that given all the controversies and the lack of appetite to continue the project, they would request for portions of the land to be ceded to them for them to construct their continental head office. But in lieu of the land, they were prepared to build Ghana a convention center and a cultural center and other facilities. But it is not a proposal that has been accepted or even considered by government. So that must be placed on record. The second point is that I can state with authority that President Mahama, for as long as he remains president, is unprepared to see even a pesewa of taxpayers' money put into this National Cathedral project. But as for what exactly will be done with the site, that determination will be made after we've had all the facts following the conduct of the forensic audit. But I can assure that no public funds is going to go into this cathedral.
Enu ononyamfo Felix Kwachi Ofosu wono Minister of State in charge of government communication wono na National Cathedral yese omampani so de ba besi cultural center no wo chese enye sanete enye nokre enti omampani wonye na adwenda na ono ankasa krampo no wonima de a sade no wode eba besisi agese hwehwemu akoso ama na wie ansa. Mamemfa wo entwa so na yemura ensem hodo emu ye kwahye ya wonom na hwe enhomasua ensem so mekire Ministry of Education krata wode ababonten ekire se so be kai capitation grant a ewo eye basic schools anase primary ne JHS ne nyina no e kai capitation grant na no eye se akora no wo school na akade se ye beto chalk ye beto homa huniema enhomasua ho akade no school no betimi ato se sika no kane nanka suku fo na nketia kan suku fees mo den na aban ba be yifiri wono mo ewo early 2000s ni mo na omampani na afenso aban ene ahweye ehwe ho masua nsam so kiremu a wonom eba be fa Ghana banwa kase yi no wo hu se efiri afempino ene aduonum yensa 2023 hadi be sie ne aban no edeka wo de suku sine kapa na chese emfie be mienu ne de sasika na ebi enkoye na no no chese enei aban no anya tua sasika na arrest wo ho no mo na se eka aban ne de schools ni nyina we ni nyina e de free one mo se capitation grant no wa aban ne enne school biaka eba besi enne. Mame Charlotte Osei Samre de Atamos Memorial Lecture ena ekoso na dodo na ena ekasa wasie ene chief of staff ono nso akasa ewo hono Mame Charlotte Osei akane no eye dwumtenani edema abato commission no wono nso akasa na Mame Charlotte Osei kasa ye no wo chese omampani dada Professor John Evans Atamos weye papa bia nokwasem owa ho brasie papa na no kan ba besi ebra omampani se wono na sa abra no wono Mame Charlotte Osei wura yire na nko no kroni dibre bia ewo man mu anase no wonya eye chairperson de ma electoral commission no omampani efa fun efra ne ka chen se oh afutu otu me se na wo de ne ye no kro wo de ne ye papa wo di bem o si na me ne hwan senka president betimi afa fun no afra me o si ho eno hu se se tumi wukita tumi na se tumi no wonje eye criticism anase se yitufo a omfa anase se oya ade na se yeka wani manase osura nim ka ana na chese wan kasa no oye bankrupt anase won hyeda enni enyiraso anase nimdie bia ewo honomo we Mame Charlotte Osei.
His humility was not weakness, it was strength under control. This humility was evident in his famous declaration that I have always said that I will be president for all Ghanaians, whether they voted for me or not, and without consideration for which part of the country they come from. These were not mere campaign promises. They were the words of a man who truly understood that leadership is service and not privilege. His approach to leadership emboldened me personally on 2 occasions to tell him while he was president that I thought a decision he took was wrong, and in another case the decision was unfair because he had not listened to the other party. Typical of Prof, he took that criticism very calmly. We argued as lawyers and he told me, when you're president you see things very differently. Eventually, in one of the matters, months later, I got a message from him. He said, you were right and I was wrong. That was an emotional moment for me and a great lesson in leadership. And I did learn that power that fears criticism is already bankrupt. In an era when political integrity often seemed like an oxymoron, Mill stood as a beacon of moral leadership. His integrity was not situational, it was absolute.
Ano Mame Charlotte Osei kane dwumtreni adema abato commission electoral commission nene na yeti yeno Nansana yebera bambo ensemu no mamemfa mra the Church of Pentecost asokwa PIWC sof mame a wono wo asokwa PIWC sof mame Priscilla Yiribi na ene anase na wotwe wo mu nyina no na chese ministries week kwasi the gospel Sunday na no edwade na mabu no na ehyiemu na no no mo ekasa na wo kire wono mo ese ye gidifo mo ye mabu afei na mo ba be ware dodo na press one be ware wan hwe yi a na relationship anase ayonkofo bi ado ho be kwakotum o so on kan se enne wiasefo de ye be kasa na mpena twe da bi na emom ayonkofo mo fa mutiri mo pone se mo pese mo ware mo mane enyina Yesu so wo se ansa na obewura sa ayonkofo anim no hunu ho se uyo Kristo no uyo gidini enti anamo a wo kwakotu mo no enya na mo anase wiase anamo bi a de wo be ye no ma enjina Yesu so sof mame Priscilla Yiribi.
Be a Christian. Understand that you are a Christian first before anything else. And so you live your life to please God and Him alone. Understand that my life is for God. Once you have been saved by the blood of Jesus, whatever relationship that you are getting into, talking about Christian relationship, get into that relationship with the mindset that I am a child of the light. I don't do things in darkness because I am a Christian. Bring your relationship under the light of God because your intention is for marriage. So please, in the relationship that you are, 1, be a Christian. That is the number 1 value. Number 2, keep trust. Be reliable and supportive. Keep your promise. I would have lined about 10 people in front here and give the first person a fresh egg. And now the first person will keep passing the fresh egg onto the other and up to the 9th person. But then between the 9th person and the 10th person, the 10th person will leave the egg. And I know that when the egg falls and it splashes, that sound of, oh, That means that the 9 people have been able to hold the trust, but the last person was not able to. When trust is broken in a relationship, it says that when the foundation is destroyed, what will the righteous do?
Was it obuo so esan eba sa ayonkofa ni mu awase mutiminya obuo edema mohomoho se ayonkofa muwom na baako wo bra won fanya hwe da bia obefun oba na mpacha ho na facha me wose da bi eno so de se manya sa obuo no amfa mamo ho na obibia ebre no wamfa obuo amana ene na cha sa ayonkofa no so no ni nyina so na emre so fuma me prestra yubi nene.
Be in a relationship that we appreciate each other. The little things that we do, we show appreciation, gratitude, and we don't twist to fit our image. The person respects you just as you are. Now let me move on. The value of time. Now someone quoted this, and I want to say that when someone spends time with you, know that it is more than just time, but a part of their life they are sharing. You will never know the essence of time until you have lost it. So if someone is there for you, you call the person is encouraging you, the person is maybe helping you in one way or the other, escorting you here and there, assisting you. Value it, because time is precious. The time that the person has shared with you, it counts a lot.
Ani awoti yes of Mame Priscilla Yiribi wono resident minister's wife or PIWC asokwa nene ena yete no afe yenko bambo ensemu defense minister ono nyamfo Dr. Edward Omane Boama wasan ede atudwa akire se asrafo akodia enra okase enane nansa okase ebi ayira ogusu anase omampani egusu a etresia wonum ahu ebi de wonum ahu kwan no a wonum enam kwan no so wonum eye enhwemu no si de ntia wode ensem bi sei atudwa no eya na etuo bi sei na pepi na no eyira ekokodi ankorankore binum botum ekodi ankorankore binum ensemu a sa ankorankore wonum enninim de ewo se de esikita akode ebi mo honom a adwenso so etai echira na se wo mutim na na enye ewo etuo sa etuo kita anase sa akode ni tita akode kokodi sa nkrofo mu nsemu a na kyese yasomdwe nso eho ena aba beda kwan enu nti ena wode sa ensem bi sei atudwa samre de mi se waso enyate ese oba kumase anomo a eye asonwase kusasifo hini a wono ewo ho no mo chese enra anadwo nipa mienu a wonom ete fidie tetafo so motorbike wonom akotu ni tuo ama wonom agene nkwa ede free nensem we anamso ama chairman edema Ashanti Regional Kusasi Chief Association na ba olesom negu wode ato eye centralfo anim de ato mpanifo posifo nyina anim ese wosre momma sa hwehwemu we enye wano pa mamo mane nche afei monhwese atentrene ebeye adwuma na sede emabu no wonom ebu afu na sede sa kunkum yakun eyekusasini wa ha yakukusasini wa ha no na ekoso no se oma anhwe na oma ankasem ni ye amma baabia etuotwere amfa nkotwere ho a wanhwe a ni ante asemode we eye wonom chairman Ashanti Regional Kusasi Chief Association.
Any little information that we get, we will make sure that we give it to the police. We will put our ears down and pick any intelligence, anything that will come across, we will give it to the police. And we are pleading with the police to do everything fast, to fast track everything. This shouldn't be a delay, because the way tension is rising, if there is a delay, then something must go out of hands. So we are pleading to the police, and then the interior is even the president. They should put their foot down and do what they must do for justice to be administered at the right time. If not, things will escalate, and we, the Kusasi community in the Ashanti region, we may not able to control, because he is being the chief here. He has been hosting Bogunaba and his interact. They come to Manchia for the mediation, and he has been all the time. He has been going with Bogunaba. He has been part of the mediation. He is part of the mediation. He's not only the chief in Ashanti region here. About less than 3 months ago, he was in skin as the cardinal of the Boko, one of the Kusak traditional area. That's Kwat. So he was in skin there as a divisional chief. So in fact, it's a big blow to we the chiefs here and then we the Kusa community here and then back at home. Naba Williams Mdego.
na emrahye bejani mu amanfo wonum ewo bundri wono so eba be pie mu ewo honom enano peya na we eye nkopatwetwe a wone eye multimedia for etwetwe na eye emrahye bejani ono nyamfo Mahmoud Isif wono so esrasa sade ade na ekono enya santimantemu ankora na esi wa ha ni nyina kusasifo na yetu wonom so sa enti sade ekono de eya ginsemu aha wonom na se wontua na mobia na se mpanifo ntua na mobia mfa ho a wanhwa na no so akwakofa bone.
This is becoming too many to us as Kusak. This is the second time this kind of killing or assassination is taking place. Apart from this being the second time in the Kumasi metropolis here, 1 2 took place at Goso, and so yes, I don't want to speak to a certain direction, but it's becoming too much on us, and so we expect that the security officers should double their efforts as far as investigating this murder and that of the two other ones that happened at the JN market at the Kwadaso and then the Goso is concerned, and get the perpetrators arrested and bring them to book. If not, we are all not safe, and so it also becomes very difficult on us as leaders to continuously urge the youth to remain calm as far as some of these attacks on the Kusase people are concerned.
Na everyone mo na youth anase mabuno so wonu mudwam tenani eye Alhaji Abdul Rahman Mumuni wono so esrese mabuno adwebrɛw wɔsese de mabuno esi a hype a wonom abatiri wonom ewo so wo sa bufu aba no wono odi wonom anim no wa ma wonom akoma amafo mo a eno so nyeye enti wɔse mabu a wonom ewo asan wase afekusasi fo a wonom ewo asantemantemo nyina wɔsra mu munyanto wase sanse asɛm no wonom anya de koto tunfo anim saa enso ena posifo eye nhwehwemu.
Let's say you feel so calm down. My young family and she said something. Like I said, we are back. I was saying so yeah. Said the Kusasa for Viva, the person say it. I will say, way and the way the first thing. The Kaba also the same to Kusasa on the Kusa. Somebody Kwadaso, I'm not going to have Kusasa is a Somebody Yankasa, Masa Motu. Say you the leaders say more butra never let me say something with you I say about you say yeah person so be ebaha I was just to the woman I'm not so game it's we know to fact aha you know kasa so say ni dia no ye basa oba wan ko to say I want to feature to so so my can say this okay e be di en be kuma go say yeah say it c'est best d'ici on on peut faut sécurité on bomba dia say no come out na ni ko boni fo na o meye sade mu e hu ko ya fo so e hu musu na ni mo you for the day you so ya ko ba so o calm down because asamu wo tufu waka ye ina ye bompa ye say tufu baka amma asu ya ba
na eno eye kusasifo mabunu wonon ba no dani ewo asante mantemu hanomo Alhaji Abdul Rahman Mumuni nene ena yetiye no adehye yebre na yebe na yenkowie ewo eye obi mai so na sa abruchire ye ko eye International Criminal Court ICC enei wo the ruling for kra ena aba na ruling odi aba we ebi NC da ni nyina ne se wo se oman bi betimi asi oman bi ewo court ese say ewiem anase ewiem ama ye bo ade ewiem no asachira anase ewiem sachira no asunsun aso aka ye pa enuti ye de sa on my way court na we no ya na ye tahwe amaya kese na wono ewo mfidi dwuma kese a wono emfidie no di wisie na face fudro ne kese mu eko ewiem eno na ya na ese ewiem ye see depletion of ozone layer ne de kika na ama ene climate change aba na we no mrantie bia wonom eye lawyer fo anase mranimfo ena afimpino ene edu enkron wonom ekruche nsem bisa edekoto eye ICC anim ese da bi se de niam ekon yanhwe yi a aman kese no won betieti aman keto ano so enti yangi bibise emfantum na no ena ene International Criminal Court anase Court of Justice ewo The Hague wajatum san oman baako betimi edi oman bi aba court se we ayemisi anase we ewiem no wase no ama say no wase de din wo mu ne say wo betima ho say oman we na de wisie anase niama bi say ko wiem ema mi wiem anase me so me de asesa aman sunsun so say aba me so eno ne asem de beye kese anase emu be de nkakra na sa me de wonyanyin ntum de na emom no ICC ekre say woji atum bibisa na so obetimi de obisa na say oman bi aba court sa Ariji nyina han na yemfa kase ni nyina yemfa emra na hwiye kase na ensem de na ewo mu bi ene say Speaker of Parliament said the future akwa eyem rahwebdwafo se wonom enhwe se won kasa yim no won mate ate ne abufu eni wonom anim said the beye a anuonyam beba om ho na by election foforo di anim no enkwaye pinchen mentime ho ase etotwetwe na fensu mujasem bia Wakasi ya monsu ya deto manima ese ononyamfo Felix Kwachofu su kire se omampani Mahama wanye na dwen ese wode National Cathedral asase no wode Babisi Cultural Center bia onye na dwen bobibia ho sa Aso ye hwe ho masuan sam so kire se capitation grant eka wonom edi sukusu bia no wonom atua so fuma me president ye bi ede ato emabu anim se anamo amutu di awura ware mu no monhwe se begina Yesu so esan se moye agidifo dia edikan me amekenkan ma medin ene ohene ba nyakon kwabere uso duome na afen so ma me adwo ahenkra ebo machido ma medical se ne brel san so na se keoki won na streaming live wo Facebook ede ema yen ohene spices na efa ka se hu kanyina enu nti ya no apebi ede akomo adofo pebi fa komo abusua oyire enu kunu obi bi ono aduane no oto bi na de akoche no esan se ohene na bema waduane ayede ama anije abafi wonom adama ene ede kase ne ebrel sabre me sorry so nyame adoma wo chena anopa ye no ye besen di ehyiamu bi macro
Pent Radio